Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, and that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'd like to sit back in my very squeaky chair, relax, and have a little conversation with all of you guys about goals and the importance of having goals and the steps you take along the way to achieving those goals. That's right. This is another mid to long-term kind of video as we discuss the mentality, really, that I think some people understand intrinsically and that others just kind of have to be reminded of from time to time. And that is the fact that, first off, I do firmly believe that when it comes to the world of collectibles in general, trading cards, video games, etc., I believe it's important to have goals for your hobbies. Whatever those goals end up being, as small or large, having goals helps you keep focused. It helps you stay on track and stops you from making in theory, stops you from making impulsive decisions that don't really benefit your desires, your needs for the long term. Having goals is an excellent way of feeling some accomplishment as you work towards those goals. It's very easy to get a giant pile of random cards that are worth a lot of money, but I think it's more rewarding to get a smaller pile of cards, a smaller set of cards that you've been looking for a while. You've been going out of your way to find them in stores or online or in trades or whatever. For instance, for video games, it's cool to just sit down and play some random video games, but it's a goal to say, today I'm going to work towards 100% completing, some random game, Final Fantasy IX, for instance. And every step along the way, you feel just a bit more accomplishment knowing that you're working towards your goal, right? And while I've talked about the importance of having goals on the channel before, what I don't think I've really talked about a whole lot is the necessity of looking at the journey to that goal in the right light, because it's very easy, I think, for a lot of people to get distracted along the way towards their goals, to get caught up in something else, some shiny piece of cardboard or some new game comes along, and they end up being distracted and kind of veering away from what they've set up for the long term. And for some people, that's going to, especially if you're relatively new to the hobby, if you're relatively new to collecting or gaming or whatever, that's going to happen a lot. You're going to find all kinds of shiny new stuff because there's all kinds of stuff out there. Even an old guy like me, I'm always finding new stuff that's really cool, really neat. There's always new releases that have all sorts of shiny, cool cards. Or I'm cracking boxes and I find that I'm pulling some really nice cards that have quite the price tag that I want to keep for myself. But, having goals helps you be a bit detached from that almost impulsive approach to the hobby. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. And when you avoid making impulsive decisions, not only does the goal help you avoid making impulsive decisions, but avoiding making impulsive decisions helps you stay on track to that goal. And sometimes when people are new to the hobby, they'll get a bunch of shiny stuff. They're not entirely sure what they want yet, and they'll just kind of jump all over the place looking for cool stuff, and that's fine. And eventually they will start working towards whatever goal they end up having. But they start looking at it in kind of the wrong mindset of looking at the steps they take along the way as stepping stones rather than building blocks. And I think that's kind of the wrong approach. And by that I mean, they get super impartial in almost a negative way. They don't care too much. They don't do their research. They don't get involved with the hobby. They just focus strictly on their goals. And that is fine. I'm not saying that that's like super wrong or anything. But I do think part of the fun in even having goals in your hobbies is enjoying the process you take to achieving them. Yes, I do think it's important to stay focused on your hobbies and to not get attached to cards that aren't in your collection or games that you're not working on completing or whatever it is you're looking for, whether it's a financial goal, a fun goal, whatever that is, right? But at the same time, while you're working towards those goals, don't get too detached from the hobby itself, because that can lead to burnout, And as I've said multiple times on this channel before, burnout can be one of the big devils out there. Part of the reason I managed to stay so engaged when it comes to my bulk sorting here in the garage is the fact that, yeah, I am focused on a goal, a financial goal, a numbers goal. At the end of the day, I also enjoy the process along the way, and I don't see the sorting of bulk as stepping stones towards that goal. I see it as a building block of the goal, where I enjoy the process. I enjoy the actual sorting mechanic itself, going through all the cards, alphabetizing them, all that stuff. For me, sorting is enjoyable. And for someone who's looking to complete a specific set, the trading process can be what they're getting engrossed in. The act of trading for the cards they're looking for, not just going out of the way to just rush in and buy all the cards they want for a collection, because that can lead to burnout, I found, for some people. Not for everyone, but for some people, just going ahead and buying and reducing it to a raw numbers game can leave you feeling really detached from the experience of collecting something that you might be attached to. You might think to yourself that you love this. I don't know, what's a Destined Rivals. Okay, if you're someone who's dead set on collecting Destined Rivals, and you have the opportunity to trade into it or just buy out the cards you need, one of those, they're both going to feel satisfying depending on the kind of person you are. But there's also kinds of people who will feel dissatisfied with one of the other options. And I think it's important that you, the individual behind the screen that I'm talking to, figure out which one's satisfying to you. Are you the kind of person who's just satisfied with throwing money at the problem until you get what you want? In this case, Destined Rivals. There's a very loud train in the background. I can't soundproof this place. So, for those of you who are curious. Or are you the kind of person, sorry, I lost track there. Are you the kind of person who gets satisfied throwing money at a thing? Or are you the kind of person who enjoys the grind of trading and pulling packs or whatever to get to your collection goal? You figure that out for yourself, obviously, and then see that process as your building block rather than as stepping stones. Because if you see it as stepping stones, if you approach it as a stepping stone, and you're not enjoying the process itself, you are, I think, doing yourself a disservice, because that can very quickly lead to detachment, to burnout, to a kind of emotional distance from the things that you might ostensibly enjoy. I think I mentioned this before on the channel, I'm working this year on collecting a full set of Unlimited Fossil. And I have a lot of the cards, not all of them, but we're like, 3 months into the year already, and I've got quite a lot of them already. And I've told myself that I'm not going to just go online and buy out all the cards I need yet, unless it's the very end of the year and I have exhausted my other options. I'm making sure that I do trades for them, trying to pick them up from local stores, and I'm avoiding going online and just buying them off a TCG Player or whatever. Most of the commons and uncommons have already come to me through bulk collections, and we're working on the rares right now. And I'm enjoying that process. I'm enjoying just trading for some cards that I really want for my own personal collection. And there's going to be people who don't like that process. There's going to be people who don't like trading. They just want to, they enjoy the shopping habit of it. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think there is something wrong with not knowing which kind of person you are and not sticking to your guts for that. If you're the kind of person who enjoys trading, fine enjoying the trading. If you're the kind of person who enjoys buying stuff, buy stuff. And I think another reason that this is really beneficial is because once you understand what kind of person you are, how you derive joy from achieving your goals, it helps even further with that whole staying on track thing, because it keeps you from one way or the other getting too attached, I think, to distractions along the way. If you're the kind of person who really likes to trade things, then for instance, you rip open a pack and you find some really cool card that's really shiny and people are going to want it. Well, that's congratulations, you just found a really cool trade fodder. If you're the kind of person who likes the financial side of things and just buying cards, congratulations, you found something that you can use as ammunition for your budget. You found an $80 card, you can just sell that right away, right? There's a lot of value, I think, in just understanding the kind of person you are as you get to the goals. And I can't tell you what kind of person you are. That's just not what this that's not how the world works. But I can tell you that once you do have a good inkling of what kind of person you are, what process you enjoy on the way to your goals, really seize hold of that enjoyment and enjoy the process to its fullest. Because once you accomplish some small goals, you're going to start working on bigger goals. And once you start working on bigger goals, it's going to take longer and longer to accomplish them. Or they might be the kind of goals that have no end date. They might have no solid finish line. And for those kind of goals, you have to make sure, I cannot stress this enough, if your goal does not have a finish line, enjoy the process, because otherwise you'll get burned out, and you'll get burned out quick. So for me, it's enjoying sorting bulk. For you, it could be enjoying grinding in Final Fantasy IX, or trading cards for Destined Rivals, or buying, I don't know, a lot of people just kind of buy watches. Yeah, there's watches that people just spend money on. So yeah, that's just what I'm trying to say today, is enjoy the process, not just the destination, because the real Kingdom Hearts is the cards we traded along the way, if that makes sense. I know it doesn't. But anyway, that's all I got for you kiddos today. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you agree with me or disagree with me. I always read all your guys' comments. I enjoy them greatly, and so does the algorithm. And what makes the algorithm happy makes me happy. Check out the Discord, check out the Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.